I've become so comfortable with being alone, and if I'm being honest, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing as someone who also loves love. But I really enjoy my independence. I think I just feel so content and free. I stopped by the photo booth museum before heading home. Here it is. I just thought it's a fun little activity to do, but also I remember this time last year I took the same photo in the exact same booth, and now I'm thinking it might be a cool thing to do every year to document how I'm aging. This one's the old one. March 2024, age 26, and then today, March 2025, age 27. I actually don't know what to do with these yet, but I do enjoy having a physical photo, something that I can hold and frame, and especially because everything is digital now, and with phone cameras it's so easy to take hundreds of photos at once, and I really do mean hundreds. Like if I'm with the girls, we are all trying to get the photo. This just feels special and honestly really refreshing because there's no retakes, there's no deleting. This definitely isn't perfect, but it's me and it's unfiltered in some point in time. I have gathered a couple books from my collection, books that have changed the way I think and see the world. Starting with the latest one I just finished. I was actually out with a friend yesterday and I had this in my bag. The first thing she said when she saw the cover was that it looks like such a man book, which I thought was funny. It's a book about negotiating called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, who was a former FBI hostage negotiator. I wish I had read this sooner. I feel as though I'm a pretty easygoing, agreeable person. I think that's my default, and sometimes that means not asking for what I think I deserve or standing my ground. Previously, I thought of negotiating as an argument or something that is demanding and forceful, which is not my personality and something I don't know how to navigate. And I think this has changed my mind about that. It focuses a lot on emotional intelligence, about active listening, and some psychological tactics. It's a very interesting read. He talks about real life stories, scenarios that are very high stakes that he's been in, but then also you can apply this to everyday life, because if you think about it, negotiating isn't just about the big stuff like salaries or business proposals. It's also about making plans for the weekend or like setting boundaries. I feel like this is a book that everyone can read. Next one, Grit by Angela Duckworth. I read this last year. I do still occasionally like to flip through the chapters and like keep this on my nightstand. I really love this one, and in a way I just find it comforting. The power of passion and perseverance. She talks about how effort essentially counts twice. She talks about how interest is something that doesn't happen overnight. It's something that grows over time. She talks about pushing through failure and setbacks, something that we can all relate to. I feel like this book has just really helped me understand and embrace my long-term goals. Basically saying that successful people don't give up easily, and I really want to be a believer that hard work gets you what you want. The Alchemist. This one I've definitely talked about before. Still a favorite. Unlike the other ones, this one is fiction. It follows the story of a boy named Santiago, and he is on a journey to find treasure. Some key themes. It talks about how true love doesn't hold you back, but instead encourages you to follow your dreams. It talks about this thing called personal legend, saying that everyone has a destiny and a purpose, but a lot of people are scared to pursue that because of fear or doubt. It talks about the important lessons and experiences that you gain on your journey to the end goal. It's a very quick read, which I like, but also this book just feels magical. And then last one, to be honest, I haven't picked this up in a very long time, but I do remember I liked it. I read this back in college as a business major. Of course, we had to all take a course on ethics. This was required reading. Would You Kill the Fat Man? Talks about the very classic trolley problem. If you don't know, it's the made-up scenario. There are 5 people tied to train tracks. There's a train heading their way. There is a lever next to you, and you have the option to pull it to divert the train onto a different set of tracks where there's only one person. What would you do? What is acceptable? What is moral? And then he changes the scenario and asks, what if it wasn't a lever? What if you had to push someone? What if it was your family on the line? The book makes you question your instincts, your beliefs, makes you think a little bit. There's no correct answer. It basically talks about how morality is complex and it's shaped by a lot of things like your culture or emotions or logic. I actually highlighted a lot of this. Maybe I'll read this one again. I've made it to the beach just in time for sunset. It's happening right now. Let me turn you around. Ta-da! I'm sitting in my car, as you can see. I just really wanted to get some air, but it's kind of crazy that I can get from my bedroom to a view like this in under 20 minutes. And I know it's not the most beautiful beach in the world, okay? But it's home. I also grabbed a snack before coming. I had the most random craving for Hong Kong style egg waffle. In Cantonese, you call this gai dan zai. This one's chocolate flavored. They're shaped like little bubbles. The outside is crispy and the inside is chewy. I'm having the time of my life. Honestly, I don't really have a plan for this vlog. It's kind of giving FaceTime energy. But usually for every video, I have a structure in my head. I know what it looks like for the most part. But this one's feeling more like a collection of random days and thoughts. A little unorganized. I'm also trying to let go of perfectionism. I really wasn't aware until I started talking to my friends about their content, how they're producing it, their editing process. And I realized that I actually spend so much unnecessary time obsessing over the smallest details, and I really do have this fear of making a mistake. And it's one thing to like have quality control, but then I feel like I'm leaning toward a point where it's almost unproductive. Typically, I will check a video 5 to 10 times before I feel like it's okay and ready to publish. And it's really not that serious. I'm not building a spaceship. I'm not a lawyer or a doctor. I'm vlogging. That's that. Hopefully you guys like this energy. (8:30) Saturday morning right now. I've been trying to enjoy slower mornings, just being a little bit more intentional with how I start my day. Small win lately, I've been on social media less. I am there to post, and I think I've been posting a lot more than I ever have, but as for scrolling, far less. I want to produce it, I don't want to consume it. I had actually deleted TikTok off my phone a couple weeks ago, and I know it sounds kind of silly to say, but I really just do feel better and lighter with a clearer mind. I do think there's a healthy way to be consuming media. I just wasn't doing that. It was just taking up way too much of my time, and it wasn't adding value to my life. And it made me feel so guilty that I had to constantly open the app and then spend hours watching these videos. I think I just really hated the fact that I was losing control and I wanted to pick up my phone all the time. No hate to TikTok, but it was especially for this app that I would be checking right before I go to bed, first thing in the morning. I guess that just shows like how good their algorithm is, but I am learning that it cannot be for me because it was just making me feel just awful about myself. I am happy to report that I am, I think, 3 weeks clean, and I think that's why I've been getting back into reading. I'm about to start Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. The story of success. In understanding successful people, we have come to focus far too much on their intelligence and ambition and personality traits. Instead, Malcolm Gladwell argues in Outliers, we should look at the world that surrounds the successful, their culture, their family, their generation, and the idiosyncratic experiences of their upbringing. I do want to get through at least a chapter